Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. I want to talk about a fight between it's going to be on Amir Khan and Terence Crawford undercard, and it's going to be a real good. I think it's going to be a real good fight. It's going to be Shakur Stevenson versus Christopher Diaz, and the Puerto Rican fighter. Well, he's American. He's a Puerto Rican descent, but that's going to be a real good fight. I looked at some tapes. I didn't know too much about Christopher Diaz, but this fight with him, Christopher Diaz and Shakur Stevenson, their styles are somewhat similar, of course. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But this is a step-up fight for Shakur Stevenson. Christopher Diaz, he can take a punch. I realize he can take a punch and he can get back up to it the same time when he get knocked down, whatever. When he fought Masayuki Ito, the Japanese fighter. So, that fight, but that was a step up. He stepped up in weight to fight this the Japanese fighter. And let me tell you something with that fight. His power, he still was stinging the Japanese fighter Ito. He was still he almost knocked him down a couple of times. Let me tell you something with that fight. I'm saying this dude have power. Christopher Diaz have power. If y'all don't know who he is, I'm gonna give you a little bit background who he is. He's got 24 wins, 16 knockouts, and 1 loss, and that was between Ito. That's the Japanese fighter, and it went the distance too. At the same time, he didn't get knocked out. It went to a 9-minute decision, and it was a close fight. It really, you know what I'm saying. So this Christopher Diaz is 24 years old. He's a featherweight. He's an orthodox fighter. He's 5'6". He got 64-inch reach, and Shakur Stevenson, if y'all don't know who he is, he got 10 fights, 6 KOs, and 0 losses. He's 21 years old. He's a featherweight. He's a southpaw fighter. He's 5'8", and he got 68-inch reach, and he's American, of course. This fight right here is going to determine where Shakur Stevenson at. If he knocks Christopher Diaz down 1 time, 2 times, and they say he lost, that's a good achievement to a certain point. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he lost, but they say he beats him too at the same time if he knocked down a couple of times, or even beat him concisely. You know what I'm saying? That would tell you he's growing at the same time and learning, of course. But this is what boxing is all about. Testing yourself at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at him. He only got 10 fights and stuff like that. I wish he probably could have got a little bit more fights, probably like to 15, probably 16 fights. But he gonna take on dude. And hey, I mean, if he lose, he's the only one can say, well, I fought him, but I lost. And if he get mad or whatever, he got to get mad at himself. So, so ain't nobody tell you to take the fight, Shakur Stevenson. But at the same time, I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I don't think that this is going to be a walk in the ballpark for either fighters. You know what I'm saying? I know Christopher Diaz might be more, he's a more experienced fighter, more seasoned fighter, I would say. But I think Shakur Stevenson will definitely have to use his leg for defense. Of course, he got upper body defense too, of course, but his legs is his defense too at the same time. He moves around when he need to move around. He'll move around just like Devin Haney move around. Devin Haney move around a lot, you know what I'm saying, when he don't need to a certain point. But one thing is about Shakur Stevenson, he's not an inside fighter. I think Diaz is an inside fighter more than Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is not an inside fighter. I realize that. You know what I'm saying? So, one thing about Christopher Diaz, he's a flat-footed fighter. You know what I'm saying? He don't absorb a lot of energy at the same time. So, this fight might go the distance, but that's if Shakur Stevenson don't wear himself out. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, he don't move a lot when he needs to move a lot. You see what I'm saying? So I think this fight, this is not a prediction fight, but I'm just saying this is this is going to be an interesting fight. And when they get closer to them fighting, I will make a prediction about these two. So, but hey, big up for two Barbarian making a fight with Christopher Diaz, Shakur Stevenson for taking the fight, or Christopher Diaz for taking the fight. And this fight is going to be very exciting. I would love to see this fight. Of course, Amir Khan and Terence Crawford is going to be fighting, but at the same time, it's just Amir Khan got 2 or 3 losses already. But that's going to be an interesting fight too. But I don't think it's going to be a very interesting fight in this fight. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. That fight is going to be interesting, but I think this fight is going to be a little bit more interesting. This is basically about skills a seasoned fighter over a young fighter, an up-and-coming fighter, and both of them got power. Both of them are undefeated too at the same time. So this makes it really interesting. And this is going to definitely see where Shakur Stevenson is at the same time. So Stevenson got Shakur Stevenson got 2 knockout. Christopher Diaz lost against Ito, but that was a good fight, close fight. And Diaz's last fight, not last fight, but he basically got knocked out prior to that fight. And then his last fight was David. He got a fight. That was his last fight, and he knocked dude out. The dude, I think he fought him in Puerto Rico. So basically, Christopher Diaz is he's somewhat of a knockout artist too. He got power. You know what I'm saying? So, what do y'all guys think about this fight with Shakur Stevenson? You think he's stepping up too soon? Because I remember he was asking for he want to step up. He want to test where he at. You know what I'm saying? This is the only way where you can test where you at. I understand that promoters they're slowly let their fighters fight prospects or fighters who's on the down or heel, whatever, and go from there. But right now, Bob Arum, I guess, trust him, and I think Shakur Stevenson. He feel that he can take him and beat Christopher Diaz, and I ain't mad at him. I think Christopher Diaz is gonna he's gonna come with it, man. This is gonna be a tough fight for both fighters. And what do you guys think? Leave a question, comment at the bottom of my page. Like my page, subscribe to my page, hit the bell icon for new notifications, new videos from me. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. All right, bye.